Have you ever felt a deep, unspoken connection with everything around you, an invisible thread linking your soul to the vastness of existence? In the midst of life's chaos, when silence envelopes you, have you ever wondered whether the separation you feel between yourself and the universe is merely a veil hiding a deeper truth? Is it possible that the universe is not as separate as it seems, but rather an intricate tapestry woven from a single thread, and that thread is God's presence? This is the starting point of Mulla Sadra's profound insight into the nature of being. The world, as we experience it, often appears divided, broken into pieces, as if each thing exists independently. But what if this separation, this illusion, is not reality at all? What if, beneath the surface, everything in existence is tied together by an invisible thread of unity, where every moment, every breath, and every atom is infused with the presence of the divine? This is the essence of Wahdat al-Wujud, the unity of being, the key to understanding Mulla Sadra's view of existence. Mulla Sadra, the philosopher who bridged the gap between Islamic mysticism and philosophical thought, invites us to look beyond the veil of appearances and recognize that everything in existence, every being, every form, every event, is but a manifestation of the One, the Absolute. In Sadra's words, there is no existence but the existence of God, and everything else is a reflection of that existence. To understand Mulla Sadra's philosophy, we must first confront the illusion of separation that governs much of our perception of reality. We live in a world where we are constantly divided from each other, from nature, and even from God. This duality is embedded deeply in our consciousness, shaping our worldview and our actions. We think of ourselves as independent, separate entities, isolated in a vast and indifferent universe. Yet, Sadra teaches us that this sense of separation is not real. It is a veil, a curtain drawn over the true nature of existence. Sadra begins with the notion that existence itself, Wujud, is one and indivisible. Everything that exists is an expression of this single, all-encompassing existence. In his magnum opus, al-Hikmat al-Muta'aliyah, he explains that the essence of existence is not fragmented or separate. It is one, and it is God. The very act of existence, the ability to be, is a manifestation of God's infinite nature. The world we see, feel, and touch, including ourselves, is nothing more than an outward appearance, a fleeting form of the eternal divine essence. This concept is deeply rooted in Sadra's view of the nature of creation. For Sadra, the universe does not consist of isolated parts, but rather a holistic whole. Every form, whether a mountain or a star, a river or a bird, is part of the same divine reality. The separation we feel is a mere illusion, born from our limited perception of the world. Once we lift this veil, we realize that all things are interconnected and share the same origin, the one divine existence. One of Sadra's most evocative metaphors for the unity of being is that of the ocean and the waves. Imagine standing on the shore, looking out over the endless expanse of the ocean. The waves rise and fall, each one appearing different from the last. Some are large, powerful, and crashing against the rocks, while others are small, gently lapping at the shore. At first glance, it might seem that each wave is an independent entity separate from the others. But when you look closely, you realize that each wave, regardless of its size or motion, is nothing but the ocean in a different form. Sadra's metaphor here is profound. Just as the waves cannot exist without the ocean, all beings are inextricably linked to the one being God. Each wave is a unique expression of the ocean, just as each being is a unique manifestation of God's existence. But the waves cannot exist without the ocean. Their existence depends entirely on it. Similarly, everything in the universe exists only because of God's will and presence. We are not separate from God. We are waves in His ocean, momentarily taking form before returning to the ocean from which we came. In this metaphor, the ocean represents the infinite, unchanging reality of God, and the waves represent the finite, changing forms of creation. The waves are transient, coming and going, while the ocean remains constant and eternal. Yet, the waves are never separate from the ocean. They are one with it, even in their individuality. This is the central truth of Mulla Sadra's philosophy. All that exists is one, and the apparent separation between beings is only an illusion. Another crucial aspect of Sadra's thought is the idea that the cosmos is a mirror of God. According to Sadra, every being in the universe, from the smallest grain of sand to the most distant star, is a reflection of God's attributes. The universe is like a vast mirror, and every creature reflects some aspect of the divine. When we look at the world, we are not simply seeing physical things. We are seeing the divine manifested in various forms. Human beings, in Sadra's view, are not merely part of creation. We are the polished faces of the divine mirror. God, in his infinite wisdom, gazes upon himself through creation. And we, as human beings, are the vessel through which God contemplates his own essence. Our very existence is a reflection of the divine light, and in recognizing this, we come to understand that we are never separate from God. The world, in all its forms, is a divine revelation, a means by which God reveals himself to us. This idea of the cosmos as a mirror leads to another profound realization. The universe is not a separate, autonomous reality. It is a continuous, unfolding reflection of the one being. When we look at the world, we should not view it as something foreign or external. Instead, we should see it as a reflection of the divine light that shines through all things. This understanding invites us to look beyond appearances and recognize that everything in existence is inherently interconnected, united by the same divine essence. However, even though God's presence is infinitely close, it remains hidden behind the veil of creation. This is the paradox at the heart of Mulla Sadra's teaching. God is both manifest and hidden. The world we perceive with our senses is both a veil and a revelation. The forms we encounter in the world, whether they are human beings, trees, mountains, or rivers, serve as both veils that hide the divine and as revelations that point us toward it. Sadra's vision of God is not a simple one. He teaches us that the veil itself is part of the divine. The very forms that obscure God from our sight are the means by which he reveals himself to us. This paradox, God hiding behind his own manifestations, invites us to reflect on the mystery of existence. The world is not a mere illusion to be escaped. It is the very means by which we come to know the divine. And in the process of seeking God, we come to realize that the separation we feel between ourselves and God is an illusion, a mirage created by our own limited understanding. Mulla Sadra's philosophy does not simply describe an abstract metaphysical truth. It is a guide for the seeker, someone who is on a journey to recognize and experience this unity of being. The seeker's journey is not one of searching for something distant or external. It is a journey of returning to the self, recognizing that God is always present and that our separation from him is an illusion. The journey of the seeker, in Sadra's view, is about coming to see that God is not somewhere else. He is present everywhere. There is no place, no moment where God is absent. The task of the seeker is not to find God, but to recognize that God has never been lost. The divine is in all things, and by recognizing this, we awaken to the unity of being. And so the question remains, how do we awaken to this truth? How do we dissolve the veil of separation and see the divine in all things? The answer, according to Mulla Sadra, is remembrance. We must remember that we are not separate from God, that our existence is not our own, but a reflection of the one being. In this remembrance, we begin to see the world as it truly is, a reflection of the divine. If this journey into the unity of being resonates with you, if you have felt the waves of understanding rise within you, then join us. Stay with us as we continue to explore these profound truths together. Like and subscribe to our channel and let's continue this journey of remembrance and awakening.